Welcome, peeps, to another episode of the Shady Lewdcast. Today, we are interviewing Sa, a very lewd snake YouTuber, debuting with very wide hips and a very sexy personality. This snake will be playing games on Twitch, and as far as I can see, Plexstorm. Our goal today is to get under this snake's skin. How are you doing today, Sa?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So obviously you're re-debuting.
Actually, I am debuting for the
Okay.
first time in a very long time. I've gotten all of my assets together
hmm
and I am ready to jump into the world of streaming.
So obviously from the outside perspective, because as of this video airing, you would have already debuted. But tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, what more is there to say? I am a snake. It's pretty obvious. I have very well defined attributes, as you can see. I am very large and I am very happy for it. Hard to ignore, really. And also, I'm very expressive about my sexuality and just my personality and the personality and sexuality of those around me. All in all, I'm a bit of a killer combo.
I, as I was saying just before we started this interview, I love the dedication to the brand that you have of just it's so good. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. Um, a lot of thought went into becoming a V-thought of the snake kind. In fact, when it came to designing Sa, there were a few species that I was running through my mind as ideas. Of the, what, five? There were a chameleon,
hmm
an iguana, an oni. Um, the others seemed to escape my mind, but snake was certainly one of them. And it wasn't until one of my friends drew a very, very crude doodle of what the face would look like. And I just took to it right away. You can see the same face as my Twitter banner. I will probably never change that.
Oh, that's really sweet. Um, so what made you want to become a VTuber?
I absolutely love the anonymity. I love it. There's something about it that absolutely turns me on. There's something about it where people are left questioning who it is that's speaking to them and entertaining them so.
That's honestly a very good answer because I can understand for a lot of people, especially when they're wanting to get out there and be somebody that they can't be anywhere else. But to have that extra sort of side where you find it like a level of, oh, people obviously getting turned on by the fact they're like, who is this person?
Exactly.
Mm.
I love that. That to me is everything. I love my anonymity. I have a bit of a thing for concealment as well, camouflage, if you will.
So, what equipment will you be using for VTubing? Because obviously, I noticed that your model's obviously reacting to the way that you talk and stuff. Like, what kind of equipment are you using?
So, I am using a webcam that I certainly need a new one of. Um, Having only like a 30 refresh rate is not ideal for tracking. However, that isn't all that I'm using. I have a pretty beefy computer that I managed to snag before debut. Among the assets that I wanted to get to debut, it was a computer because I did some prototype tests for streams and I found that I was lagging. I don't want to subject my audience to any more jank that is already come equipped with like my personality. So having a computer that can at least sort of iron out any of that frame loss is ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And let this be between you and me. And I'm really glad that you won't be releasing this until after my debut, but I also have some virtual reality setups too.
Oh, nice. So you'll obviously be having a bit of a 3D debut as well.
I have another debut scheduled, and it will be a 3D debut. Yes,
Oh.
very perceptive.
um, and you are a up and coming voice actress as well.
Oh, yes. It's sort of hard to balance it out because I have what's it called? I have orders that I have to do. I do
Mhm.
clientele work, and I also have my real life to balance and VTubing. So it's sort of hard to get into the swing of the voice actress and voice acting sort of thing, like that entire circuit. Having voice acting friends help, of which I have a few already, and I'm always looking to make more. Twitter.com/SavvyLewd. So pretty much, yes, I am aspiring.
So with the voice acting, you were saying that you've already got some clientele. What kind of work are you doing in terms of voice acting for people?
I'm not sure if I can say that, but I'm sure you could use your imagination.
I definitely can. I think a lot of people at home could definitely use their imagination as well. Have you been in any productions at all?
Not yet. I'm
Okay.
looking to, though.
Oh well, we'll definitely change that. Don't worry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll be a good. um, so Lewdtubers are coming up in the ranks now against other VTubers. How are you finding the Lewdtuber scene?
So the Vtuber scene has been absolutely wonderful with me. I've loved interacting with every single Vtuber. A lot of my interactions happened right away, and they were very inviting.
Mhm.
I find that theater of content creators to be awfully misunderstood compared to other types of content creators. Running into various issues regarding people not respecting boundaries and rather dodgy sex practices. And yes, you can have those over LDEs or long distance engagements. And I'd like my platform to sort of act as an intermediary where I can talk about what's healthy, what's not healthy, what's pretty, what's not pretty, what's sexy and not sexy, whilst also being somewhat of a lewd tuber myself. It's like a regulation type of thing, but it's sort of not. It's like a regulation masturbation type of thing?
So you actually kind of want to sort of be an ambassador for that sort of thing?
To say ambassador would imply too much responsibility, and I'm too much of a trash snake to really do that type of thing. However, I would love to be, what's it called? I would love to be somebody who is a massive proponent of safe practices, respecting people.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sure you could probably guess, as YouTubers sort of go up in rank or in popularity or in prominence would be the perhaps most preferable word. I'm sure you can imagine those very few people who don't quite understand how to respect people also go up. And so I think it's really crucial to educate those who may be wanting to interact with YouTubers who may not have the most expertise.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. Um, so in terms of the safer work side, well, I guess sort of safer work side, what will you be doing on Twitch exactly?
You know, I have a few ideas lined up.
Mm-hmm.
The first instinctive one is gaming, of course, because I fancy myself a bit of a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I can use that word. And I also do want to platform smaller VTubers in the form of interviews where I may just do things similar to this, or just doing collabs every week or so, because I think it's important to give smaller VTubers visibility. It can be very hard when you're starting. And I just love to I love to give visibility and engagement to those VTubers.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing the direction you go with that. Um, so in terms of the not safe work side, what will you be doing in that terms of streaming?
Well, I can tell you that having the 3D model with full body really helps with any and all ideas. And this works retroactively with safer work content too, skits and whatnot, I'm sure you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a few things that I can integrate. Um, I'll be connecting my love ends, and it will absolutely go great, I think.
Okay. So basically you'll be doing sort of like cam show stuff and you could be mixing it in with gaming.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
I also love to hold a conversation. So, of course, I think a big portion of my platform will be just chat.
Oh, well, I can already tell that you're very good at conversation.
Thank you.
I'm already sold. I'm already sold. What is a dream collab or stream that you would love to do with another VTuber or Lutuber?
Oh my goodness. Um, okay. Um, honestly, I'd love to one of these days collab with you may know her, you may not know her. She's more safe for work, but I love her content and I love her stream and I just love her personality and she may have provided me a bit of an inspiration, and that is Sina Plumiel.
Oh,
I'd
yep.
love to just collab with her. Hell, just to like hang out with her. And in terms of Lootubers, I think I've already gotten the collaborations of my dreams, being a part of the Loot Game Show that Crooked Smile hosted twice over. I don't know if there's any more that I could ask for other than perhaps a rerun.
Yeah, I heard about this game show. So tell me a little bit about what went down on the game show.
Oh, it was great. I lost both games, and losing feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually the type to readily claim the position of bottom bitch if I can perceive a benefit. And I can tell you, there were benefits. There was a lot of fun. There was a lot of active engagement. And just hearing all of my fellow YouTubers from all walks of life, all gender identifications, all species, all whatever, just having a good time. What more could you ask for? That was sexy, and it was also very entertaining. I at least know that I was entertained.
So, in terms of the loot scene, do you play any lewd video games?
So, I, oh goodness, I really hope I don't mess their name up, but I'm looking to try out a hentai writers game.
Oh, Future
They have
Fragments.
yes, Future Fragments.
Mm-hmm.
They have DM'd me about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I very well might stream that. Now, I've changed my course and my trajectory. I am no longer thinking of going to Plexstorm, as I've heard that their practices have changed.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's a lot of YouTubers that have moved to Picarto, and I might do that too.
If there is any particular games that you're after that you see and you don't know the developer, let me know because I probably do know them. I've been around for a while, so I could probably hook you up with a Steam key or two.
That would be very sweet of you. Thank you. Yes, you'll very likely be you'll come back to your workstation and you'll see a little snake slither into your DMs asking for some things to play with, if you catch my drift.
So our company is also making lewd video games, and one of the things that we're actually working on at the moment is Lovent's integration into our video games.
Oh
Um,
my goodness.
yeah, so one of our flagship games we have is Shady Lewdcast, which is a Mario Kart style lewd game with lewd characters that it's kind of like a huge crossover. And what we're thinking of doing is adding love ents to it. So, say for example, you get hit with a weapon and the love ents will move, or say that you push down on the accelerator and the love ents will actually move.
Oh, the
Um,
acceleration idea is gorgeous.
mm, so I think I already know the answer to this. Because we're adding the streamer capabilities for these devices. Would you be interested in being a test subject in the future?
Yes, 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 absolutely.
So, in terms of streaming, you haven't streamed officially as of yet.
I have not. I've
No.
only appeared in streams.
Oh, okay. So you appeared in that game show. What other streams have you appeared on?
So, A great deal of them have been impromptu. However, I have appeared in a collaboration with VHL, which is Virtual Hentai Live.
Hmm.
Yes, I did a show there, and it was absolutely wonderful. I still talk with the members of VHL to this day, and that can be you can find them at Zero Master, who I believe organized the group.
Hmm.
Developer Devi, or I guess in this case it'd be Degenerate Devi. Uh, Kitar Princess, I believe.
Yep.
Well, I just know her as Sky. There's Femboy Kelby, I believe, as well.
Hmm.
And there's I think there's also Callista, but I have not interacted with them yet, though I'd really love to. And recently, Soul Camera, who actually helped organize the game show that I was a part of. So that was a really fun lewd collaboration that I'd love to do again in the future. But also, I was on an impromptu interview of VTubers with Crooked Smile,
Hmm.
and I also played a game of Jackbox. I'm not very good at it. Hey, guess who took bottom bitch in that game too? This one.
It's so interesting because yeah, I've spoken to all of those YouTubers, and as you were saying before, the YouTuber scene in such a bizarre way, and as much as I've said it with other people that I talk to in the industry, is in such a weird way a wholesome community.
Exactly. The way I see it, there seems to be such a, I dare say, nauseating divide between say-so content and not so say-so content.
Hmm.
And it just always baffled me. Because yes, while say-so means safe for work, a lot of people also rope in the idea that say-so means wholesome. And I don't know if that's true. Because when it comes to being lewd, and not safe for work, you can still, of course, be very wholesome. You can be very considerate, and you can be very welcoming and warming of that. And hey, that sort of sounds like my platform again. I mean, like, and I really hope that that branches beyond just my platform. I'd love it if other people did that too, because it can be very difficult to approach a LewdTuber. It can be difficult to approach hell any VTuber because, well, VTubers are great. They work very hard, and this goes equally so for LewdTubers as well. And making that wholesome effort to just sort of welcome people in and to show that it's a little bit more than just the raw what we're here for, it really helps make a difference. It brings people in a way that I, as a snake, absolutely love, and that is by coiling people around your heart.
So when you won't be streaming and you slither away from the computer, what do you do outside of the VTubing space?
Well, I can't tell you everything, but it does involve a form of data entry.
Okay. So you're a hacker snake, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
I can slink into many mainframes.
Ah, okay. So a virus snake. Okay, I get you.
Yes. Waiting to go viral, of
Yeah.
course.
So I assume at some point you'll be playing. It's just stock standard, really, when you think about it. You'll be playing Slither.io at some point.
Oh, absolutely, I will
Yeah.
be. In fact, the debut game that I plan on like launching after everything's said and done, which, by the way, that you can find that debut at twitch.tv/Vtuber.
Mm-hmm.
When you go there, it will be a pretty big, albeit jank, but still passionate showing of interviews, collaborations, some of what I do outside of like moaning my head off, which is like I do some rap, I do some singing, I do a little bit of that type of thing, just working with my voice in general. After that, there will be a slideshow, and afterwards, I will be playing a Snake Simulator on on a BlueStacks emulator. Yes.
Okay. You said you also do some like singing and rapping.
Yes, I don't have any material planned for now, but
Mm-hmm.
I do have a few videos lined up for the debut where I will be debuting more than just my voice talent, I guess, if you want to call it that. I will be debuting my lyrical skill and my vocals, I guess.
Okay. I'm beyond curious now about this whole singing thing because again, the next level of voice acting being singing and you're saying rapping as well. Like I'm very intrigued to see what kind of path you go down there.
Yes, I would say that the best way to describe that would be a hobbyist. I do it to pass the time, and though
Mm-hmm.
my free time has been relatively eclipsed by duty, I still find the time to maybe fit a verse here or there.
So, what is some basically? Is there any Lewdtubers or Vtubers that inspire you, or some friends that you would like to shout out?
Oh, absolutely. Soul Camera is the first that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely dig her energy, and I love her commitment to the entire like sphere. She knows how to work an event, and she knows certainly how to organize them. I remember the dawn of the first Tuber game show. Listen to me making it sound like it were a historical event. It was. Sorry for anybody who missed it, but she was there so early, up early, early, early. And I was like, what, the second or third to come in. And she was there making sure everybody was being taken care of. Everybody's block fit into place, setting up like the programs necessary to make sure everybody's tracking was working. And it was just very, very beautiful and inspiring. It opened my eyes. As I was new, I'm still new. Like, I only arrived on the scene in like March. So, this was a relatively still early prospect for me. And to see her work that, I was like, oh my God. First of all, sexy. Second of all of that dedication. It opened my eyes to Vtubers as if they weren't already open. I suppose they opened even more. It's a good thing snakes don't have eyelids. Well, except for this one.
um, what is some advice that you would give to an aspiring Lewdtuber?
That is a wonderful question. Thank you so much. Because I think that a lot of people sort of don't know where to go, and I would love to speak about that. I come from a very motherly place, and I know what it's like. It can be very difficult, right? You have it almost feels like when you're on your platform that you only have one angle that you can approach it. And people can get locked into that idea. They can be stuck in their own head about it. And, you know, even I have been. I'll say the past few uh the past few tweets that I've put out since returning on a hiatus have been wholesome. But here's the thing. I put out a video recently talking about curating your online experience, and that applies to your own platform too.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to intermix wholesome with lewd, or if you want to be lewdly wholesome, wholesomely lewd, whatever you want, you do that because we are all trying to concoct a new recipe, all of us. And that can't happen without you exploring your own spice garden, without you cultivating a recipe. And that can be as simple as simply being yourself and obeying your whims. And I think that the most beautiful things that you can create are created on a whim. By the way, you're pretty cute. Sorry, that was my whim speaking for me.
That is honestly some I'm just gonna say amazing fucking advice. That is amazing.
Thank you. I follow my own advice. I wish I followed my own advice a little bit more often. I will say sometimes the pressure gets to be quite a bit for this snake. But then again, with a bit of with precursor research, you would find that snakes are actually quite independent and they're rather shy. So sometimes it does get to be a lot, but it's all worth it to return to your platform and your community. It's just about what? Like quality over quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you're yourself, you'll find that the ratio of quality to quantity increases. It's crazy.
So you already spoke before about having a 3D space. Do you have any other costumes or upgrades that you can hint at Tell us about.
Yes, I do. I'm a girl that likes to go multiple times. Ask anybody, they'll tell you. But that can be said for debuts as well. So I will have a first debut, which will be my native outfit that, again, you can see here in all of my curvaceous glory. Yes. However, there will also be a second debut, which will be my 3D model. But little do you know that there will also be a third. And the third debut will be another outfit that plays along the theme of Medusa and Gorgon. And then the fourth debut will be a 3D model of that as well. You want to know what's crazy? I'll tell you what's crazy. I already have those things. I'm just really, really far behind. I'm really far behind. I already have those assets, and I'm very, very excited to play with them. But I can't. I can't. I really want to, but I can't. And I really get excited thinking about doing it, but I can't. I want to be very secretive about it, as snakes are, and I want to surprise my morsels, as snakes do.
I'm like, I'm speechless. It's one of the first times I've actually been speechless interviewing somebody like that. That whole spiel along with the eyes, I don't know what to say.
Is it a lot?
It's a lot, but it's like sensory overload in a good way.
Good. The senses are a pretty important thing to evolve with sex. It's the difference between sexual and sensual,
Hmm.
right? And you would say that I am a bit of both in large capacities.
So obviously, you like not to give too much away. You were saying that you've got other models lined up and such, and a sort of like different debut. Does that mean that there'll be different characters and such?
Different characters. No. It's all me. It will
Okay.
always be me. However, I will say that as Saw's lore grows, you will find out more about who Saw was in her real living life.
Okay. That honestly, I don't think I've ever been this intrigued, and I will definitely be there for your debut on. I do believe it was the 5th.
Yes, a week from now, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm pretty happy at the timing of this interview, which, by the way, you've been absolutely excellent so far. Um, I will say that in a week from now, I think we'll all get a taste, and I guess I'll be the morsel.
Before obviously we end this interview, I want to give you the floor to tell people where to find you, your social medias, what you will be working on. Basically, a spot to promote yourself.
Of course. How about we get right to that, huh? And so you can find my, I guess you can find like my thirst traps on my Twitter at savlud, twitter.com/savlud, all one word. You can find my streaming exploits on Twitch at twitch.tv/Vtuber. I do have my rates, which are my voice acting. I'm always open, always open. In fact, after this interview, I actually have to do a script fill. You can find my rates on my card, which can also be found at my Twitter. And if you want to donate for any reason, you can go to my Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/mysterious, all one word as well. So that's about it. And of course, if you want to like DM me on my Discord and shit, it's sa period. And my number is 0975, and that won't change. So yeah, don't be shy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sar, for taking the time out of your day to sit and have a chat with me.
Oh, absolutely. I have to thank you as well. You are an absolutely captivating interviewer, and I absolutely loved answering your questions. Very well selected. very receptive and absolutely a thrill to get along with. And I hope that maybe we can have a bit of a more intimate rapport after all is said and done.
Oh, of course, definitely. And to everybody who is listening at home, I will put the links for SAR's socials and contacts on the screen. I'll put them in the comments, pinned comments, and I will put it in the description as well. And once again, thank you, SAR, for taking the time to join me today.
Of course. And thank you as well. Anytime.
And to everyone at home, I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.